Man and woman. The two genders are represented in the classic symbol of peace, balance, and natural duality as the yin and yang. But this utopian view of man and woman is unfortunately far from reality. Across the world, gender inequality is a major issue. For example, did you know that in Egypt a husband can deny his wife the right to leave the country? In Afghanistan, many girls are denied the right to go to school, or looked down upon for attempting to pursue an education. Or that in China and India, gendercide or female infanticide, the killing of female babies, is still frequently practiced. These are extreme examples of international gender equality. But what about in America? The examples are not so drastic, but they are in no way dismissible. But, in order to properly understand the present, one must first review the past. First, the term gender role must be defined. Gender role is the overt expression of attitudes that indicate to others the degree of your maleness or femaleness, like the understanding that boys are supposed to be strong and girls are expected to be pretty and gentle, or that little boys should play with action figures and girls with dolls. Gender roles differ within each society and are apt to change over time as conflicting ideas emerge, modern versus traditional. If we observe popular religion, myth, and literature, one cannot deny negative notions placed on women that have echoed across various mediums. The most common being the similarities between the ancient Greeks' Pandora, a woman who released evil onto all mankind, and the infamous Hebrew woman Eve, another female who is said to have released pain and suffering to all of man. The idea of a beautiful evil in women is an old one, but having its vein in such strong motivational tools as religious texts, there is no wonder why the idea developed that man must protect himself against woman, the necessary evil, by controlling woman. However, such discrimination always inspires reform. Scholars remark major episodes of feminism in waves, the first of which occurring in the 19th century when women were not allowed to vote, attend most schools, own land, or even use birth control. Women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton in America and Mary Wollstonecraft in the United Kingdom were two of the first to acknowledge and fight the disparity between the genders. Whereas the first wave was concerned with gaining more legal opportunities for women, the second wave was concerned with giving women more options in their everyday life. The movement tried to give women more options regarding the workplace, sexuality, birthright, and the image of women in the house. The 50s housewife who met her husband at the door with a smile, a full-course meal, and after a day of cleaning and taking care of the children. And Rosie the Riveter, the muscle-clad flexing female working hard in factories to support the American economy. They are both important figureheads when discussing the second wave of feminism. Around the 1980s, the third and current wave began in the United States. Feminists continued to challenge many of the issues brought up in the second wave, especially sexuality, and embraced the diversity factor of women, taking a more general and all-encompassing stance towards gender inequality.
In the past, it has been the woman's role to wait upon the husband's every whim and clean and prepare the house, but now times are changing. Women have become more dominant in the past few years. They're becoming more and more equal to the male's position in almost all things in everyday life. Before, it was very rare to see women in places even as normal as the workplace, but now women make up almost 47% of the workforce. Not only are women more prominent in the workplace, but also in the hierarchy in the home life. Women now are more individualistic in modern life in that they are becoming heads of households in many American homes. More men are becoming house husbands than ever before, and women are now becoming the major wage earners in the household. Once bastions of male dominance, such as presidents of major universities, these positions are now being assumed by female parties. Even major cabinet posts are now occupied by women. And now a female president of the United States of America, an idea that was once thought of as impossible, is now no longer out of the question. It is almost fact. In fact, in countries such as Germany and Canada, top leading positions are held by women. There are many organizations throughout the modern world dedicated to helping women achieve a better role in society, such as AAUW, which promotes education and equity for women and girls. These groups have fought long and hard on many occasions to help women become recognized and to gain better positions in the world. Women are taking their rightful place in leadership roles in the medical position, education, and finance. A valuable resource of labor and intellect has finally taken its rightful place in society. There is still much to do to achieve full equality, but major strides have been accomplished. Other such groups have dedicated their goals to protecting women in society and to ensure that the women are not cheated out of or forced away from their jobs. These groups also try to make sure that the female population is treated equally and that no harm shall befall them. Even though many steps have been taken in America to ensure the protection of the female population, there are still many countries out there that still do not treat women as equals, or even as human beings.
The future of gender equality lies within our generation. It is up to all of us to decide how this situation will conclude. We must educate those around us in order to show them the promise of gender equality. My prediction is that global gender equality is on the rise and will continue to grow. According to the Gender Equality Fact Sheet, between 1900 and 2000, the number of girls per 100 boys in primary schools all over the world is on the rise. This fact even includes developing countries such as those in sub-Saharan Africa and Southeastern Asia. Millennium Development Goals sets a target ratio of girls to boys for each country to achieve before 2005. East Asia, as well as many other regions around the world, easily accomplished this 2005 goal. And in some Latin American countries, the percentage of girls in primary and secondary schools actually surpasses the percentage of boys. Another key fact that demonstrates the rise of gender equality is the rise of women in the non-agricultural workforce. According to the Millennium Development Goals report done by the United Nations, many of the same regions around the world, including Latin America and Oceania, have had increases from 6 to 8% more women being active members in non-agricultural wage employment. Women's seats in parliament all over the world have been steadily increasing for 15 years now. In developing regions across the world, women have had 4% more of the seats in parliament, and in developed regions it is at a little over 5%. All of these facts tend to show an overall increase for the equality of women throughout developed countries, but more surprisingly, developing countries.